if you were married to somebody and you let them go, right? It doesn't end terribly, but you let them go. They move on. They find somebody new. Now, you could try to talk to the new person. Maybe it was somebody you knew. You could say, "Hey, look, this is how they are. This is what they're gonna do. This is how it's gonna be. Don't expect this. Don't expect that, etc." Right? Well, a lot of the things that these poor guys and the poor fans in Calgary are like up in arms and complaining about, I'm listening to them. I'm like, yeah, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but he didn't regress. That was always him. The difference is he either had Yager and with Barkov, or he had Barkov, or he had all sorts of guys around him that could take those ridiculous passes that he makes and put them in the back of the net. Now he did get more goals here when he averaged 20. He did have the 1 year of 30, but the main thing was his assists, right? Well, if they don't have, look at the difference in the guys that he was assisting here in Florida versus there in Calgary. And now I'm not discounting that clearly um it's going as you would expect it to go when the dude is like, I got drafted third overall, Florida. I am like, there's like three faces of the franchise. I'm one of them. I ain't never going anywhere. They're not going to trade me. They love me. I'm Huberdeau. Oh, wait, the phone is ringing. Hold on a second. Yeah, yeah, Bill, what do you want? What? Calgary? So I get it. There's a part of what's going on with Huberdeau that's what's going on. Okay. And I mean, I know that, look, we can all sit here and say he's a professional athlete, he's making money, yada, yada, yada. And I agree with all of that stuff. You guys know I'm a coach, I'm a hard ass, I bitch and complain. I say, get the job done no matter what. That said, I'm also human, and I've had a lot of things come at me in my life that kind of, I wouldn't expect him to have two autistic boys, right? I wouldn't expect them to have, Lyme disease for almost 15 years now. You deal with it, but there's a lot of ways that affects you mentally that sometimes it takes a long time, if ever, to clear that hurdle and actually get over it. Huberdeau getting that phone call from Bill Zito kind of probably broke him. um, I don't want to use the word emotionally, but tenacity wise. Like, because let's be honest, okay? I said this in the video about Sam Bennett that I did the other day. When Sam Bennett got here, we were all over Huberdeau. Even people that have been fans of him were like, "What is going on with these guys? He's lazy. He's not skating hard. He's not being aggressive. He's passing too much. He was playing terribly." And then Sam Bennett showed up, and all of a sudden it was like lightning in the bottle for those 19 games or 13 games, whatever it was. And then in the President's Trophy season, right? Okay, but it was a perfect storm of with Q and that offense and Sam Bennett and Hugh. It was the perfect storm with all of the talent. We had a ridiculously over talented team, especially offensive wise that year. And now what's happened with Huberto? And that's like the question that they're asking is like, what's happened to this guy? What's happened? Now, I will allow for there to be 10, maybe 15% of the issue to be, I can't believe I have to live in Calgary as opposed to Florida. That it's we can judge you can judge him one way or another for that, but that doesn't mean it's not having an effect somewhat. Okay. Now I watched a couple interviews from Huberdeau over the summer, and he was very open and honest about he wasn't happy with his play last year. He felt he worked really, really hard this summer. He wanted to get better. He wanted to improve. His attitude seemed completely good to go. All right. I had never heard him contrite like that before. So, from that sense, I'm definitely surprised, like Calgary fans are, that they're kind of getting, they're not happy with what they've got. Now I looked, he's got 5 points in 10 games, 2 goals, 3 assists. Now that's not all that far off from a normal Huberdeau year. 2 goals and maybe 10 assists or 8 assists might be like more normal for him. So he's short on the assists. I'm not watching the games, but what I would say is, well, whose fault is that? You know, we all know, everybody who watched, and this is the thing about kind of that I want to kind of talk to these guys about. It's like, look, I'm not being critical. I'm not saying this to be mean, but those of us who watched Huberdeau play every night of his career, basically, we knew who Huberdeau was.